and that's what it was, farms and farms. And if there was a road, it was one lane, because there weren't a lot of cars.
Tell them when you were in your teens and you were working, you were making deliveries. How did you make deliveries?
Well, when I was 13 years old, I went and got a job. Now, today, I think they would take their parents to court. But my father said I had to work, so I went out and I got a job. I got a job at a grocery store, and what I was doing was delivering the orders. In other words, the lady would come in, she'd buy a lot of stuff, and they'd put it in a cart, a bag, and they would put it on this I'm 104 years old.
Yeah.
Nice job.
He told us.
Yeah. I gave it away. Sorry. I had already mentioned it.
Yes, mentioned it earlier.
Thank you. Did you have any sports?
What's that again?
Did you have any sports?
We didn't have sports.
I can't imagine a life without it. Oh my God.
In my school,
Friend.
we went to school,
Thank you.
I mentioned 9 o'clock till 2:30, 3 o'clock. And then everybody went home. Either they went to, and once you were in high school, a great many of them got little jobs like I had. But there was no sports, there was no baseball or football or anything like that.
Was there, like, were you allowed to stay in? Yeah, I know. It's not called a printer, it's called an adding machine.
It's called an adding machine, but it does other things. But in my day, there was no such thing. So we had to learn how to add, we had to learn how to multiply, we had to learn how to divide. And so I do it automatically even today. But it is not necessary because you got your computer will do it, your telephone will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was the gender of the teachers?
What was the gender of the teachers?
Well,
Who were your teachers?
there were men.
Ah.
There were men. There were no women.
Oh.
They were all men.
Learning about this.
And believe it or not, I don't think they made, I would say $1,000 a year. Friend, you use your cell phone.
I wanted to get back to the story I was thinking about, is that when you had to make deliveries, when you were working with that grocery store.
Well, when I was working it came Passover. And Passover, naturally the food is bigger and more. And my boss would give me a box this big, and here I'm this tall. And I said to him, I can't deliver. I haven't got the strength. And in Mattapan, I don't know, people haven't been to Mattapan or Rochester, there's some hills. Well, you push a cart up a hill, that's wow. So he let me go and rent a horse and team. Imagine, today, they wouldn't even give it.
I don't know.
Those days, they rented.
Can you tell them what a horse and team is?
Well, a horse is a regular horse, and people went to college. I went to Boston University in Boston. It was a small college at that time. I don't think it had 3 rooms as big as this room here. And in my senior year, there were 6 students in the class. And why? Because $400, which was the tuition, was a lot of money, and people just didn't have it. So then after the Second World War came, and people started to make more money. What is it?
So I feel like
I had, my father remarried when I was 5 and a half. My mother died when I was a baby. And so I had 2 sisters. That was it. again, my sisters, they did go to school, but not to my school. Well, first of all, they were 25 years younger than I was, so.
We'll come back.
Yeah,
I have two questions. How much would a call cost in those days? In the old days?
how
A
much?
car, how much would a car cost?
Well, my first car, I bought a Chevrolet, new, brand new, $400.
Oh,
When,
Today,
what'd you,
my boss, maybe I was smarter than I thought I was. He made me a salesman. Now, you wouldn't see it today, it's against the law, but he used to take the merchandise and put it out on the sidewalk, and I'd be out there, it could be below zero, it didn't make any difference, and the people would come and buy the food, and we wrapped, for instance, I sold herring, I don't know if you know what herring is, but it's a little fish. And they would buy the herring, they would buy 12 herrings for $1, 8 cents a piece. I would take newspaper and wrap it in a newspaper, which is against the law. But today, in those days, nobody said anything. Believe it or not, I sold eggs that were cracked. Now, it's inconceivable today that you could even take an egg that has been cracked and offer it to the public to eat because the germs would get into it. But in those days, nobody paid any attention. They were glad to get it.
they also were cheaper
And
too,
they
weren't
bought
they?
the eggs much cheaper than the regular eggs because they were cracked. Yeah.
how long would it take to for a letter to go and then come back?
A letter? Well, I don't think people wrote as much, and if they did, it would probably take a week.